up on SUTV News, we'll talk about last Saturday's homecoming parade.
And later, we'll keep you up to date on the Study Abroad Fair here at SUU.
Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Cairo Cook.
And I'm Ryan Sunderman. One of the most recognized homecoming events for SUU is the Homecoming Parade. Our reporter Grace Conley had a chance to go to the parade and see what it was like this year.
SUU's annual Homecoming Parade was held Saturday, September 28th on Cedar City's Main Street, celebrating the diversity and culture of the community.
Homecoming Parade today was so good. I love SUU.
This event showcased different SUU and Cedar City high school organizations, bringing students and community members together for a family-friendly experience.
I love SUU's homecoming. It brings everyone back here to Cedar City together, and it's just so much fun to see everyone.
During the event, each SUU club in the parade presented their uniquely decorated floats. Some of the floats even encouraged further participation. The basketball team handed out balls and encouraged people to make free throws, while the SUU cheer team led popular cheers amongst the crowd.
The Homecoming Parade is one of my favorite events during homecoming because it brings out all the students.
If you want to know how to be in next year's Homecoming Parade or want to know more about the different clubs SUU has to offer, contact the SUSA offices located in the Student Center. For SUTV News, I'm Grace Conley.
On Tuesday, September 24th, the Confucius Institute held its 4th annual celebration, including Asian food testing, performances by magician Jason Byers, and the Cedar City Junior Ballet, and honoring the students and staff who helped in the tour bus accident on September 20th. The celebration also showed off what the students have been learning in their Chinese class from Fiddlers Elementary, Gateway Preparatory Academy, and Cedar City High School, and a special performance by SU student Mara. For more information on the Confucius Institute, visit su.edu/Confucius Institute, or visit the Confucius Institute building located on the south end of campus.
Students looking to study abroad in future semesters had the chance to gauge their options during the Study Abroad Fair held in the SUU living room. Our reporter Grace Conley attended the event and has the inside story.
SUU's Study Abroad Fair was held Tuesday, October 2nd from 10 to 2 in the living room. The purpose of the fair was to showcase the different short-term study abroad programs being offered this year. Each professor running a short-term study abroad program had a booth where students were able to get more specific information about the upcoming trips.
We have all of our summer programs showcased, as well as some of our semester programs. It's a really good way for students to find out more about study abroad, and they can also win t-shirts and candy, and most importantly scholarships, so that they can also go on a study abroad.
The event offered 3 different types of contests, which led to students winning shirts, candy, and some even won $200 scholarships.
The Study Abroad Fair this year is a huge success thanks to a lot of people, not only the Office of Going Abroad staff and student workers, but all of the amazing faculty members who put together the programs and are taking students abroad.
Cotton candy, snow cones, and popcorn were handed out, and a lot of students came out and participated. Toward the end of the event, each professor gave a presentation about their specific study abroad program in the Global Landing Room.
Taking students to London this year, we do classes in English, theater, and arts administration, and we spend our days in museums and cultural sites and our evenings in the theater, so we hope you can come.
If you want to know more about studying abroad, you can stop by the international office located in the Student Center. For SUTV News, I'm Grace Conley.
So, unless I'm misremembering, I remember you telling me something about that you went to London on a study abroad.
I did, not with SUU, sadly. I went with a different school, but it was really close to the one they talked about, where it was mostly theater and English. and
So
then
you didn't
also
do
a
any
little
of
bit of
the
history.
So you didn't do any of the arts administration stuff they're talking about? But
No, but I did go to the theaters and museum. Basically, that's how I spent my whole day.
Okay.
Museums in the afternoon, morning, and then in the evening we go to plays. I went to about, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, 26 plays.
That's still very
I was
intense.
there. Plays and musicals, so it was really an amazing experience. I encourage everyone to go on. Coming up, we'll talk about the Amber Geiger case.
And a look at the Student Involvement and Leadership Office at SUU. We'll be right back.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
On average, I spend 8 hours a week on the road. It's important to me to make the right choices when I drive. And she's the reason why I support MAD.
On Saturday, September 28th, the Cedar City Bureau of Land Management gathered for National Public Lands Day in Three Peaks to build a course for mountain bikers to practice. The CCBLM gave the community a chance to volunteer by putting together the bike course or picking up trash. All volunteers got a free t-shirt and a public lands pass. The course ranges from beginner to expert to give everyone a chance to have fun on the course. For more information, go to the National Public Lands Day Facebook at #NPLD or their Instagram at NEEFUSA_org.
Emotions are running high after a show of forgiveness during Wednesday's sentencing of Dallas police officer Amber Geiger for the murder of Botham Jean.
If you truly are sorry, I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you. And I know if you go to God and ask Him, He will forgive you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you.
Grant Jean, the brother of Botham, asked permission to give Geiger a hug before she was sentenced to 10 years in jail. The shocking moment came as a surprise to many, with some believing the act may have had an impact on the final sentencing. Geiger was convicted of murdering Botham Jean in September of 2018 when she mistakenly entered the wrong apartment and believed Jean to be an intruder. Botham's father, Bertram, said that he had hoped for a longer sentence, as Geiger had faced life in prison. Still, Bertram shared the same feelings of his son Brant in extending his forgiveness to Geiger. Fire crews are calling a recent fire the Covered Wagon Fire that broke out just north of Cedar City at 5:44 p.m. on Tuesday night. The fire started from a torch that sparked on some dry grass and burned 8 acres of the surrounding area. One outbuilding and several vehicles were destroyed, though there were no human injuries or damage to the nearby houses. The fire was contained by 8 p.m. later that same night.
All of the events here at SUU are planned, marketed, and run by Student Involvement and Leadership Office. As not many students know the organization within the office, our reporter Kylie Schaefer took a step in to get the details.
The Student Involvement and Leadership Office of Southern Utah University is a place where students can get involved and find a purpose while being here at college. The office hosts the event programming board, the marketing department, and the student government, all of which strive to benefit student life here at SUU.
If you have problems at with your professor or with your concerns on campus, you have someone who can advocate and voice your concerns. Just essentially, it's people there to help you get connected to campus, either through programming, through speaking your voice, through initiatives and things like that.
The student involvement and leadership organizations work together in creating fun and uplifting events that can bring students together as a T-Word community.
It benefits students because it just gets them find new friends and stuff like that. That's how I got friends, is when I started going to events. Seeing the same people over and over again, you soon to become friends and everything.
The Still organizations host and market Campus Connects, Welcome Week, and Homecoming Week events, comedians, dances, and information about clubs.
Part of it is because we really want people to enjoy their time at SUU, and part of it is because we want those events at SUU. We want to be able to have something fun to do on campus and make the SUU community more tightly knit, because we can't just be doing homework all the time. We want to have something that we can do with our friends and something that's going to make our time studying a little bit easier.
Since this is a student-run program, anybody can get involved by going to the office next to the Nest in the Student Center. For SUU TV News, I'm Kylie Schaefer.
In Cedar City, cold temperatures are fast approaching, but there's no shortage of adventures. For students who may not have experienced Cedar City weather before, Cedar City snow can be a bit of a culture shock. From the winter months of October to March, the average temperature is 40 degrees Fahrenheit, with average snowfall coming in at about 7 inches. However, with the cool temperatures come even cooler colors. Looking around Cedar City, it's hard not to notice the trees changing colors, from green to orange to red, and eventually falling off. A place to see the true beauty of southern Utah is anywhere from SUU to Dixie National Forest, including any of the national parks that surround Southern Utah University.
Such beautiful footage. I'm excited for this upcoming winter.
Yeah. I've always liked the cold weather in SUU, and that's, I think, one of the reasons that drove me to attend SUU.
At least we have all 4 seasons.
Yeah, and even though it may sometimes be all 4 seasons in one day, I mean,
definitely switches back and forth very quickly.
It's Utah. Winter is at 6 a.m., summer is at 10 a.m., fall is at 2 p.m., and I missed one, spring.
Sometimes spring gets kind of sprinkled in between those ones.
Spring's here and there and everywhere. It's but you know what I mean. So
yeah, it's right now for me it's the perfect weather. Loving the sweater weather and then also the cooler temperatures.
Yeah.
Perfect for sporting events and every other fun thing that happens here.
Gives a chance to bust down my leather jacket.
Speaking of weather, how's the weather looking today, Connor?
We've got a warm week on the horizon. Don't go anywhere.
Toxic chemicals and carcinogens are leaching into the environment. It's happening right where we live, work, and play. Everywhere. Cigarette butts are toxic waste. Let's stop the toxic litter. Learn more at rethinkbutts.org.
Hi, I'm Special Agent Diana Berrigan from the TV show White Collar. Did you know that it wasn't until 1972 that the first female earned an FBI Special Agent badge? Now women are helping solve crimes around the world in faraway places like Sarajevo, New Delhi, Lagos, and Tbilisi. To all our women fighting crime at home and overseas, thank you for keeping us safe. Happy anniversary.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Welcome back to On another beautiful day here in Cedar City, Utah, you can see we're at 70 degrees. That's the perfect temperature. That's inside. So it's a beautiful day, 70 degrees, partly cloudy, just a few clouds in the sky, giving some nice cloud cover and keeping us at that nice and comfortable temperature. Not much wind going on today, and just a pretty temperate day. A nice day to be outside, a nice day to be enjoying this beautiful weather. Now looking like it'll be a little more cloudy. As you can see, got some decent cloud cover there. The high of 70, low of 30, so pretty big variance in the morning hours and the nighttime. Starting to feel pretty cold at nighttime, but still staying fairly warm during the day. As you can see, on Saturday, we'll be at 70 degrees here in Cedar City and the low of 34. So it's going to be a beautiful day. This weekend is another good chance to get outside, take advantage of Cedar City's beautiful happenings, and the kind of events you can take on outside. So we'll go ahead and look. SUU taking on Portland State this Saturday. SUU football will be in Portland. This is a little look at what the weather will look like at that time. 64 degrees at the time of kickoff. 3 o'clock kickoff time is a perfect start, especially in Portland where it gets pretty cold at night and there's usually pretty rainy. So 64 the high, the 3 o'clock start time like we mentioned. Sun will be setting at 6:45, so probably towards the end of the game the sun will go down. But a little more humid in Portland, 68%, a lot higher than usually is here in Cedar City, which could affect the kicking game, and we know Southern Utah has struggled with that in recent weeks. As we'll go ahead and look at our 7-day forecast. Here we are on Thursday, partly cloudy, the high of 72 today, 47 is the low tonight. Tomorrow looking like a mirror image in terms of high, 73, but all the way down in the 30s tomorrow night. And then looking at your weekend, gonna be sunny and cool, but not really super warm. So we're 70 degrees with a low of 34, 71, and 36 for this weekend. Gonna be a little brisk, a little chilly, maybe some wind, but still a pretty good chance to get out and take it. And then just the rest of this week, you can see we're going to have pretty warm temperatures on to the high 70s, as you can see there. So it's going to be a good warm chance, good warm end to the summer, the early days of October, looking pretty warm, as you can see there. It's fall really starting in.
So you said it's going to be warm, and even though we'll be getting cool into the night, but I know the question is on everyone's mind. Is it a good day to fly a kite?
Today, not so much. It's not.
What about any time this week?
I mean, this weekend definitely would be a good chance. It's going to be a pretty windy weekend. But today, unfortunately, you're going to need a pretty good running start to fly a kite today.
Just start one end from the football field to the other.
If you can run 100 yards, be my guest.
Is that challenging?
Yeah, we can see, even in just that footage we saw earlier on, leaves starting to change colors. The wind's starting to feel more cold, just air's feeling more crisp here in fall.
Definitely looking forward to it. Lucky for the last few warm days for sure. Thanks for the update, Connor.
Here's a quick look what's coming up next in sports.
You have to hit me on live TV.
I don't hit you.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Welcome back to SUTV Sports. I'm Connor Ace. After a heartbreaking loss to Cal Poly last week, the Southern Utah football team will travel up to Portland this week to take on the Portland State Vikings. The Vikings have earned 2 wins so far on the season, but both have come to lower division Simon Fraser and Eastern Oregon. When playing Division I schools this season, the Vikings have lost all 3 games, including a 51-24 loss to Idaho State last week. The team will be led by quarterback Davis Alexander, who is completing 62% of his passes, helping him throw for almost 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, and only 3 picks. The Vikings will enter the game boasting one of the FCS's best rushing attacks, gaining more than 185 yards a game, while SCU is allowing more than 200 rushing yards per game. However, Vikings head coach Bruce Barnum is expecting SUU head coach Demario Warren to be prepared for the game.
Demario Warren has a lot to do with the defense. He's a defensive head coach, and he's a hell of a coach. So they always have a twist for you. They always play hard. They always come up with something creative. I remember a few years back he had something for the read option that everybody runs. It took everybody out of it. Everybody was copying for a couple years, but there'll be something there, and they're living off turnovers.
SUU basketball will hold their annual basketball bash on October 29th. This event will allow Thunderbird fans to get a sneak peek into both the women and men's teams before their first games in November. In addition to a scrimmage, a 3-point contest and a dunk contest will be held with a chance for fans to get autographs from their favorite players. The men's team will be led by 4th-year head coach Todd Simon, who is hoping to lead his team to their first ever Big Sky Championship and first NCAA tournament appearance since 2001. The women's team will be coached by Tracy Saunders for the 2nd straight year. Saunders hopes to increase the T-Birds' win total from last season behind the leadership of senior guard Rebecca Cardenas. An Iowa State fan that asked for beer money on his college game day sign as a joke is now ready to turn that money into a large donation to a children's hospital. 2 weeks ago, Carson King, a student at Iowa State, gave the country his Venmo account when he wrote it on a sign that appeared on ESPN's College Game Day. Donations to King quickly poured in as he surpassed his beer money goal within minutes, but donations have continued to come. When the fundraiser reached $2,000, Busch Light and Venmo both promised to match King's donations. As of October 1st, the total donation amount has surpassed $3 million. Busch Light offered King free beer for a year, but cut ties with him when King came under fire when a report surfaced of racist tweets he made back in high school. Busch said they would still honor the donation. The money raised will go to the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital in Iowa City, located on the campus of the rival Iowa Hawkeyes. Donations have now ended to King's Venmo account. That's all I've got for you today. For SUTV Sports, I'm Connor Ace.
Thanks for the update, Connor. That's really awesome of him to donate that money to a children's hospital instead of keeping it for himself. It really shows a lot of pride.
It really does. And I like that Busch and Venmo both offered to match the donation, so they would come up with triple the original amount.
Good of them to stay humble and not maybe give him free beer for life after those racist tweets.
Yeah. But do you think you could ever do something like that? Just hold up a sign with your Venmo that says, I need more beer?
I could see me doing it, but I don't see any reaction coming from it, I think.
Especially not a small school like SUU.
Yeah, I'd easily do the effect, but I would easily get the cause, but not the effect. Coming up, we'll take a look at the study abroad from New Zealand.
Don't go anywhere.
Listen up. Each year, hundreds of promising research studies go unfunded for breast cancer, for lung cancer, every cancer. The American Cancer Society has been behind nearly every breakthrough in recent history. But there's still more work to do. So let's make sure that no research is silenced. Let's make noise. Let's make noise. Yeah. And let's finish the fight.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. Already posted it.
I'm hungry. I can't see the board.
Good morning, class. Everyone ready to learn today?
Of course they aren't ready. Across America, health barriers keep millions of disadvantaged school children from learning. Children's Health Fund is working to remove those barriers. But to really change the odds for these kids, we need your help. To find out how you can give every child a chance to be healthy and ready to learn, visit childrenshealthfund.org today.
Hannah Brown from the most recent season of The Bachelorette has been casted on the newest season of ABC's network's Dancing with the Stars. Brown has a rough couple of months after the season finale of The Bachelorette and a breakup with her ex-fiancé Jed Wyatt. Things seem to be looking up for her and her new dance partner, Al Bernstein. Casted on Dancing with the Stars, the two have created highly scored routines and lasted for the first 3 weeks of the season. They plan to continue through the rounds to the final and build on what they have already learned from each other. The show is on every night at 7 p.m.
SU's theater department will present their final performance of Coriolanus on Friday, October 4th. The performance will be held in the Ingolstadt Shakespeare Theater at 7:30 p.m. The play is one of Shakespeare's final tragedies and focuses on the titular Coriolanus as he moves from war to politics. The play focuses on his struggle to be a successful politician, as well as the alliances that he makes along the way. Faculty and students will be able to see the performance for free, but tickets will also be available for anyone who wants to see the play. Adult tickets cost $10, alumni tickets are $8, and children can get in for $5. Tickets will be on sale either at the Event Center box office or online from suu.edu/PVA.
SU is offering a lot of different study abroad trips in the coming months, and reporter Alex Schilling has a look at the upcoming New Zealand trip.
I'm going on an adventure!
Summer breaks give students a wide variety of options for how to spend their time. This can be anything from just relaxing or even working towards their future goals. But one of the options students might not initially consider is to sign up for a study abroad. One of the trips SCU provides is to go to New Zealand alongside Professor Toa Tawa, who was born and raised in the country and is coming up on his 7th study abroad to New Zealand this summer. Professor Tawa has taken many students on these trips and has been working on fine-tuning the experience as best he can, making only a few small changes with each trip to better accommodate how his previous trip went, as well as the interests of the professors that join him each year. The latest additions are:
we'll be heading out to an active volcano in Ireland, just off the coast of the North Island of New Zealand. And then also part of our cultural interaction while they're in New Zealand, we will be visiting a high school.
There will be a large variety of experiences throughout the trip that will be set in stone closer to the final date and based on the number of participants. Having fun and experiencing the culture of New Zealand is a big part of these trips. While there will be a lot of emphasis on enjoying the trip, students will also be able to take 6 credits worth of courses from the various professors on the trip. Alongside Tawa's courses, there will be other English courses taught by Professor Joyce Starantino, communication courses from Professor Kevin Stein, and finally geology courses taught by Professor Jason Kaiser. Each of these courses will have a different approach than a regular course, as they will all be more experience-focused. The hope of these courses is that it will
make their lives a little bit more enriched by understanding and coming in contact with the Indigenous people of New Zealand. But I also hope that it will awaken in students the joy of traveling and the joy of learning. The best education that anyone can give themselves is to go out and experience and see and travel.
The previous trips have all been a success that both students and professors have enjoyed, with one of Professor Tawa's biggest takeaways being:
every single student that I have taken with me to New Zealand has found it to be a life-changing experience.
Ultimately, Professor Tawa encourages his students to participate in any of the study abroad trips. As far as his trip goes, the final sign-up date should be sometime in February. For anyone interested in the trip, start saving now, as these trips can be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. This is Alex Schilling reporting. Back to the desk.
Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for you. I'm Cairo Cook.
I'm Connor Sanders.
I'm Connor East.
And I'm Ryan Sunderman. Tune in for our next news show on Tuesday.